So hey guys, fun fact here. In another version of this game, you could be able to get other items in this part of the shrine before you could have going up or afterwards. Anyway, so if you're getting this dialogue, that's because we haven't done anything else yet. But I'll see you then. All right. So did you see this island? You can't hardly see it unless you've got another way to really view it. So you really can't really do anything with it. You're actually just viewing it. All right. I'll see you momentarily. Alright, I'm sorry about all the jump cuts, and I went ahead and spent up the rest of our gold. Now, normally you're supposed to actually go around, but I went ahead and took this way. This is only if you take this also as well, if you've gone back to do some things, grinding, or just gone ahead and got some equipment. I would go ahead and take this chance. You don't have to, but I thought I would shoot in-game wise. Just by kind of making this fight just a little bit more easier. And yes, I would definitely recommend saving it at that place there. I'm going to go ahead and put another save state here because, and also because that dialogue that we keep seeing whenever time we leave the town is going to change. Let me show you why. Now, this is all on its own. You don't have to push. You can push the A button. It won't matter. Incoming. And this is our first boss fight. Breath Wings. I changed the equipment around so that, this makes it a little bit more better. It's a bit of a cheat on its own, but it's in-game cheating. Now, if you let this boss fight last longer than it should, this boss will go into a defense mode. But if you keep on attacking fast enough, he'll die quickly enough. This boss is not that hard to do, unless you don't attack him when he's in defense mode. It's a lot longer than it has to be. Okay. So what you want to do now is you want to defend. I also had to go back and buy me a potion. I had 10, and then I had to use 2 of them. So, should be like one more hit, and this guy should be down. But don't attack him now. Not all games have this like this, but we're going to do this. I got to keep just defending until he comes back to... Just until he gets out of defense mode. Or in his defensive position. I didn't mean to let it drag on like this. Fact is, you can do that and get a little bit more extra points depending on what game it is or what version is. Breathwing. Oh boy. That's not good. That's okay. Alright, see, we did it. We got it. Victory. Alright, that makes us have at least 4 of those. Now, let's go up here. Now, instead of going up front, let's see, there should be... We could do this now or wait. Let's move. Don't attack regular enemies at this point. You ask me, we shouldn't have even had to. We shouldn't have even had to, but anyway, there should be a chest over here. Yeah, we can either do this now or wait till afterwards. I have 10 to staff. Oh, God. Okay. So anyway, we shouldn't have even had to fight a boss right now, but it's okay. Wind Crystal. The crystal is shattered. Bang! Bang! What the? Oh, God. And I wish I meant to do that. So yeah, we're getting all kinds of shining lights up here from each and every sector. Even though we haven't even been there. Courage of the essence of flame. I don't know what that one's getting courage, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. I mean, in a way it does, but it's okay. It doesn't really affect anything. And she gets devotion, the essence of water. Now that one that got courage, we're going to be finding out her in the next couple episodes, but, you know. And there's another place we can't get to yet. And Galuf, hope, the essence of earth. Really? Anyway. And finally, last but not least, passion. Really? Passion, the essence of wind? Okay. What? What's happening? Feels warm. Are these the crystal essences? And of course, King Tycoon says, "Lee in." Father. Listen and listen well, for you four are the chosen ones, the warriors of light, bearers of the four crystal essences. Father, what do you mean? The wind crystal has already shattered. The other three crystals are in danger as well. You four must protect them. An evil presence is awakening, one that wishes to return everything to darkness. Yep. Some about him later. Father. Go forth, light warriors, save the crystals. Wait, no, Father. Now, 'tis the real beginning of where it all started. Not just the fact of what that did, but this here. What are these? Yes, they're pieces of the crystal. And yep, they are indeed that. That's because they are. Crystal fragments and stored within the power of warriors of legend. Ooh. Knight Monk. Kind of like the very first game. Only, you know. Blue Mage Thief. Dark Mage. White Mage. Now, I find it more interesting to get at least one person, to a certain position. We'll go more what best suits what later. By later, I mean in the next few episodes before we actually know more about. I mean, because in the process, we're going to learn about a few things. But anyway, the crystal is lending us its power. For now, let's get out of here. Lena. There should be a warp panel to the outside behind the water. So you could either go through that or all the way back out. Doesn't really matter, but I would recommend going out because at this point we're gonna get ready. Doesn't really matter. If you missed out on the items, you should have gone ahead and just did some leveling up. So that's and of course we're gonna get the explanation again about, well, if you don't already know, only the Christmas. Would you like an explanation of using the crystal fragments in the drivability system? Yes, why not? Just in case you forget. But in case you get again, blah 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 blah. Okay, the fragments of the shattered crystal are imbued with the power of legendary warriors. The four chosen by the crystals are granted use of those powers in the form of jobs. I'm just gonna skip through this. It's basically, I'm going to give you a better description of how this works out because there's going to be sacrifices. It's like the very first game in the series. The only difference is you can only choose up to 4 characters. So, yeah. I just spoiled it, but yeah. My son Jaws, the 4 characters can gain special abilities corresponding to those jobs. Oh look, Bart's is some odd reason a dark mage, even though we haven't selected that yet. But the reason this makes more sense now, and I'm going to tell you why, is because we actually got a hold of crystals. Now, I'm going to go more over that as soon as this idiot gets done explaining things. He's not really an idiot. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. That's not fair. Yeah. Changing jobs and abilities changes the types of armor and weapons a character can equip. Don't worry, characters automatically equip the best gear possible whenever they are assigned a new job. Fun fact, in the original versions, not really. You had to actually do it yourself. But there are only specific weapons they can carry, unfortunately, though. Makes no sense, but, you know. And this is where the game is, it's fine. By mixing and matching different jobs and abilities, you can create individual types of warriors, such as a dark mage who can use the jump ability, or a knight who can use white magic. Let's use the latter as an example of using the job system. First, we'll set a job to that of a white mage. Oh my goodness. There's all kinds of combinations, but there's one I'm going to recommend to you that you don't actually have to do. But we're going to have to learn at least all of the jobs because of the specific abilities that they have. At least one of them will, anyway. Much like experience points as battles are won, you will receive ability points, ABP, with all capital letters for some reason. Anyway, what are ability points you'll gain the white mage ability white. Now let's switch jobs to that of a knight next has an ability Charles White. Your equipment will automatically be optimized to the strongest combination. Now you have successfully created a knight who can perform white magic. No doubt. The number one definition for the best fit is whatever you can come up with, but I'm going to show you a variety of commands that actually do work. It's not to say that nothing works. It's just it depends on what you feel more comfortable. Or you'll have to go with. I just tear it to you. So now we got this all out of the system. Alright. Now, what we want to do now is we actually want to save. Yes, we do. Alright. Now, let's go over the jobs. Now, I'm not going to go over them like they did there, but there is going to be sacrifices we're going to have to make. But there is an ultimate job for, like, freelancer. The freelancer is the one you're going to ultimately wind up with, but we're not going to do that till later. Now, ultimately, most people have gone with this guy for most of the game. Knight on Bart's here. Now, if I remember correctly, there's an ability we want to learn with Thief, but we're going to let Uh, I find it more endearing to have a thief that has at least something because they're going to be using, that. Well, kind of like the monk ability. A monk comes in handy for something we can learn a little bit later. So that's what Flashlight is going to be like. But unfortunately, we're going to be sacrificing things for whatnot. And this is the reason why I've been forewarning you not to level up. Because of this. This is the only game I would forewarn you not to do because the job ability system, this is the thing that they're not explaining to you, that I'm going to explain to you. Now, I'm not going to do anything yet until we get sluiced here. I usually have at least Paris and whatnot up here. I'm not going to tell you anything about Paris, but we'll be learning that in the process within probably the next video. Anyway, we're almost out of time. But I wanted to quickly tell you that it is best recommended to have him as a knight. So, and I would recommend having at least what is it now? Him as the guy that's going to protect everyone. It would take too much time to do that and try to make him that way. You could do it like back and forth, but it's easier to do. You can knock out the lower ones. But the ones that have the highest to start out with, there's going to be some more about this stuff a little bit later for advanced. What we're going to be doing is as soon as possible, we're going to be knocking out the highest ones because they're going to take forever to do. Which means a lot of it will be prolonged before I can do any more stuff. Kind of like how Mystic Quest is. And this game, I would say, is a little bit more funner in its own right mind than Final Fantasy IV. Now, that's not to say that most of the versions out there weren't fun. No. Like the, what was it called? Nintendo DS version, that was fun. But in this game, because you get more of a variety and you can do combinations. Whereas in the first game, you can do sort of a combination, but you still had to sacrifice. Like in this game, we're going to have to make some sacrifices for a little while. Ultimately, we do want to switch back to freelancer because we want freelancer to go to someone who can have a certain set of skills or certain amount of abilities we're going to go with. And I wind up usually putting him as a monk. And the reason for that, well, excuse me. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. That's because of what he can learn. Now, I also wanted to put him as a blue mage. What we want to do is we actually want to make him a blue mage for right now. And the reason for that is because we want to make him learn the ability blue mage. And whatever job we have with that ability, we're going to be eventually leveling it up as we go along. It comes along with advanced. So, that'll be something that right now, you want to do that. And I'm going to tell you why. But we're going to do some grinding, but it won't be in this episode. No. Now, what I want to do is I want to make Ferris a thief. for a reason. Okay? Now I'm going to make her, yes, I'm going to make her a white mage. Oh, yeah. I typically find it useful to have at least one character, or at least two characters with the ability of dark magic, because we need it. And especially leveling it up and getting it more powerful. Because see, the more you level up magic, the more powerful it becomes. And your attacks get more. I would recommend that right now, this is what you start out with. And then what you want to do is you want to eventually get everybody through at least one stage of everything you got. So, it'll be our next agenda after we get this done. Anyway, I will see you all on the next episode. Until then, later.